All right. Well, sorry about the delay on doing the review for Money in the Bank of 2019, but I thought it'd be a good idea for me to do it in the middle of the day where it's not so late in the night because I wasn't too happy with the ending of this show. This show was entertaining for me at least. I don't know about others. I've heard a lot of YouTubers say that they think the whole entire pay-per-view overall sucked anyway. My only grudge or problem with this pay-per-view was the ending. It felt like as if I went to see John Wick 3. I saw John Wick 3 the same weekend that this damn pay-per-view happened. And I gotta tell you guys, John Wick 3 was a very entertaining ride and a good movie to watch, and then the ending just crapped out. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you're interested in seeing the movie, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but beware, the ending is shit. Anyway, this was the same situation. This event was shit at the end. The reason why is because Brock Lesnar wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. Why? Sami Zayn gets taken out of the whole entire event. He's hanging upside down. He looked like he was beaten half to death. And he's unconscious, hanging upside down by his feet. Okay, fine. You're throwing a little element of surprise here. Great, fantastic. Honestly, I think that would have been a great place to put Aleister Black or Bray Wyatt into this scenario. More likely to Bray Wyatt since he plays this heel role and he's such an evil type character. Maybe they could have had, like, the lights go out while Mustafa Ali was climbing the ladder, and lights go out, and he shows up on the top of the ladder, and then poof, he knocks him clean off with some kind of maneuver to knock him off the ladder and get the fucking briefcase and win and give it to Bray Wyatt. That would have been the more suitable idea to go with, but instead, I mean, I understood what they were trying to do. They're trying to give explanation to why Brock Lesnar is getting a one-on-one rematch with Seth Rollins at the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. Now, why would you waste your briefcase winner on a guy who's already a main eventer, who already has done plenty in the main event scene, and was already announced that he's going to get a title rematch anyway? You didn't need to give it to Brock Lesnar for a Money in the Bank ladder match. God knows you guys aren't living up to your word anyway about the no rematch clause anyhow. So, just give him the fucking rematch and let's move on with our lives here. Bray Wyatt should have been the guy to win the Money in the Bank ladder match if they were going to be doing a surprise elimination of Sami Zayn out of the picture for this ladder match. I felt what they did here was absolute waste of everybody's time. We spent 4 hours sitting there watching a pay-per-view. I felt entertained. I felt like I was enjoying a pay-per-view that had some kind of life to it, in a sense of like them trying to provide us some kind of entertainment. And once again, WWE falls short. Overall, if you skip the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men, the rest of the show wasn't all that bad to watch. There was some fucking weirded out moments here and there, and so forth. So, honestly, I really don't have a whole lot of complaints except for the ending sucked. It absolutely did. It was a waste of time. Which, basically, they might as well have Brock Lesnar stand out in the middle of the arena and give everyone the bird. You know. The show had its moments. The show also had its downfalls. There's no doubt about it. A lot of people would say more downfall than good. I'm going to say it's a 50-50 split. Here's the reason why. One, they did the right thing with Roman Reigns and Elias. Roman Reigns and Elias did not deserve to even be on the card, so them making this a very short, straight-to-the-point matchup where it's a Superman punch and a spear by Elias getting nailed and pinned 1, 2, 3, as he should, because he absolutely sucks. I think he's by far the worst in-ring performer on the planet right now. He is trash beyond belief. He does concerts that suck. He played a fucking electric guitar last night. Sounded horrendous. I mean, would you please stop? You're not Kurt Cobain. You're not James Hetfield from Metallica. You're not shit. James Hetfield's just a rhythm guitarist, by the way. So, and that's pretty much what he was doing, rhythm guitar. He wasn't even really doing lead. This guy absolutely sucked on the electrical guitar, and I couldn't stand listening to it. It was horrible. And then they got Corey Graves going behind and supporting this trash. Yeah, okay. But yeah, the Roman Reigns Elias match, they did the right thing here. Ended in less than a minute. Get it out of the way. Be done with it. Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe, I actually thought that this match was fucked up beyond belief. This was one match I couldn't stand because of the fact that Rey Mysterio lost in a submission in less than a minute at WrestleMania. And then the next month, at Money in the Bank pay-per-view, he's winning the United States title. Why? What for? And not to mention in a fucked up ending, like as if they're reenacting Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch's ending to WrestleMania 35. Utter trash. Complete and utter trash. Now, they could take this and use it as a positive. Maybe it was meant to happen this way. Maybe they're going to build some kind of storyline behind the referees making bad calls throughout the next couple of months or something, and give explanation and start, saying, hey, look, the referees are making bad calls. Maybe this matchup with WrestleMania 35 was supposed to happen that way. Maybe this wasn't no botch ending by Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. Quite frankly, they could really take a take a negative and turn it into a positive with what's been going on with these finishes, because some of these finishes have been botched. The referees aren't catching the shoulders up. Samoa Joe's shoulder was up. This match lasted less than 5 minutes, and Rey Mysterio is winning the damn United States Championship. Come on. Utterly ridiculous. Becky Lynch, thankfully, she retained her title to Lacey Evans, lost the title to Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, though, loses the title the same night to Bayley, which I'm fine with as well. Bayley had a very decent matchup in the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women. She walked away the winner, and then later on that night cashed in on Charlotte Flair, and I thought that was awesome. I had no beefs with that. I thought that was fantastic. Now, granted, if you look in the history of the women's Money in the Bank ladder matches in the last 3 years, they've all been cashed in on the same night that they won it. Now, you'd think maybe eventually they start making these women, like a Money in the Bank women's winner, actually hold on to the title, or hold on to the briefcase for a couple of months before making a decision to cash in on an opponent who is the champion. That, I think, needs to happen next year. Most definitely, I don't think any cash-in should occur during the same pay-per-view that they won it. I think that's fucking retarded. But in this situation, it needed to happen. Honestly, it displayed that WWE is listening to us in some manner. We are sick and tired of seeing the blonde bimbos hold on to world championships in the women's division. Last night, they went ahead and they did the right thing. They have Becky Lynch and Bayley holding on to the two primary women titles in the WWE. Not to mention, Bayley and Becky Lynch being two of the four horsewomen to hold the titles on both brands. So, with all that standing, I'm satisfied with that. Now, granted, we're not going to see a good show on Monday Night Raw tonight, so who the fuck anyone thinks that I'm going to be watching it, you're crazy. Speaking of Monday Night Raw, there's an announcement for a new WWE Championship by Mick Foley. Why is there going to be another WWE title? What is the need for another championship? We have enough titles as it is. And none of them are getting any kind of prestige or any kind of uplifting manner to take seriously. These wins and losses are just completely ridiculous. Like I said, Samoa Joe losing to Rey Mysterio after he beat his ass in less than a minute is retarded. Rey Mysterio should have lost. Truthfully, Rey Mysterio should have never been getting a title shot in the first place. So all that in itself was garbage. But the women's championship matches, I had no problem with. I actually enjoyed watching both Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair compete against Becky Lynch. Lacey Evans did a very decent job. I'm not going to say she did great. It wasn't great. It was okay. It was decent. Noteworthy a little bit. But it wasn't something that she's in the realm of main event women's matches right now. But is she notable? Is she worth watching? Is she somebody to pay attention to in the future? Yeah, I think so. I don't think she's horrible, but I don't think she's great either. She's average. That's all there is to it on that. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch's match was downgraded, I have to say. I didn't really like that idea, though. They did have a promo video that they had on the WWE YouTube channel, which I watched, which was very, very good. This matchup really could have been the main event of the show. This matchup between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Because, number one, these two women have had a bunch of fucking matches with each other, have had a rivalry that's been on and off for the last 2 or 3 years. And then you throw in Bayley into the mix with that cash-in. That would have been a really great way to close out the show altogether. So that is about the only thing I have a problem with on that situation. Trying to think here, what other match? Shane McMahon and The Miz, funny fucking ending. Shane and Miz's match was very similar to last month's pay-per-view for WrestleMania and that Falls Count Anywhere. The only difference is this happened in a steel cage instead of a round arena. And Shane McMahon was trying to exit the cage. Miz had a hold on Shane McMahon, was trying to suplex him back into the ring, lost grip. Shane McMahon fell out of his shirt and went to the ground and won the match. Again, Shane McMahon is walking away with a very lucky victory. I think the next matchup that happens should be in Saudi Arabia, and this matchup should be a last man standing match. No doubt about it. This match should be last man standing. No interferences, no outside interference, nothing. It's just him and Shane McMahon, one-on-one, last man standing, and that's it. Or do an I Quit match, whichever way you prefer. I think the I Quit match, technically, now that I mention it, would be the better option to go with, because there's no lucky way of getting a win. Unless they do a Rock McFoley reenactment from Royal Rumble of 1999. God help us. But the bottom line is that match, this little thing is okay. It's not, the roles need to be reversed. Miz should have been the heel, and Shane McMahon should be the face. Him trying to play a heel Shane McMahon just doesn't work. I mean, if he's a cocky SOB and he's not some fucking tyrant asshole like Vincent McMahon played very well, Shane doesn't do his dad very well. He can't act like his dad. He comes across more as the cocky SOB with an arrogant attitude. This Shane McMahon he's portraying is more of like what his father used to be, and it just doesn't work for him. It doesn't blend well with who he is. It's not genuine. It really doesn't come across well on screen, and I just think it's forced and really retarded. That's just my personal opinion. But the match itself was okay. I didn't have any beef with it. I didn't think there was anything really wrong with the match or the ending. I kind of figured by that point when they were on the outskirts of the cage that that was going to actually happen. And it did. And I thought it was very funny. I laughed my ass off, really. What else did we have here? Seth Rollins and AJ Styles for the Universal Championship was the match of the night, and my God, if anything else, if you couldn't make anything else the main event, this should have been it. This matchup for Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch should have been the main event. These two matches were very if I would have split the matches up where Charlotte Flair faced Becky Lynch later on during the night, I think the match would have had a more deserving and prestigious matchup between these two. But the way things were, it just came across very, like, let's get it done, get it over with type of thing. So I didn't really like that at all. So that's the one downside to their matchup. But Seth Rollins and AJ Styles really deserved the main event because this was a main event matchup. Bottom line. Great match between these two. Seth Rollins walks away with a curb stomp and gets the 1-2-3. AJ Styles came so close to winning the matchup. It made you think he was actually going to win. But knowing full well that AJ is going on the outskirts of his career, is looking more into a part-time role like Randy Orton, you kind of knew that they weren't going to go with AJ Styles winning the WWE Universal Championship. They might give it to him for a short run at some point down the line. I think that might happen eventually, but he's not going to have any kind of long-term title run like he did in the last two different occasions. In this situation, this was the right decision. I think this is the right thing to do, and I think Seth Rollins needs to beat Brock Lesnar in a legit match. WrestleMania 35 was not a legit match. That was a joke. It was pathetic, and it was stupid. It was like as if, let's get this show on the road, get the match over and done with real quick, have Seth Rollins cheat, low blow him, and hit 3 curb stomps and get a 1-2-3. That was stupid. Bottom line, I did not like that decision whatsoever. I liked the idea of the result, but I didn't like how the match went down. The result was good. There was the right decision, I think, and that's pretty much it. The rest of it, the match itself, was just garbage. It was just a match to throw in there, get over and done with real quick, because it wasn't supposed to be the main event. So their attitude was, get the show on the road and let's get the fuck out of here with it. And that's stupid. This matchup, this rematch between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar needs to be the main event. Not Goldberg and The Undertaker. Not any of that shit. The Universal title between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins needs to be the main event, giving Seth Rollins a legit win over Brock Lesnar. They don't need to put the title on Brock Lesnar anymore. His role as champion is overplayed, outdone, and it's just fucking retarded. And if they go that route, they're just going to put the damn Universal title back into his hands and no longer seen on WWE from month to month. It needs to be defended at least once a month. Now, unless he's going to make a title defense here and there every couple of months at least, two title matches in a row, like 1 month, let's say he does SummerSlam, then he does the September pay-per-view, then he takes a month off and he comes back at Survivor Series. If he does something like that, I'm cool with that. But if you're not going to have him defend the title when he needs to defend the title, make him defend the title more than what he used to, then don't give him the fucking belt because it's pointless giving him the title in the first place. Thank God it's not the only championship world title that they have. But honestly, they don't need to give it to freaking Brock Lesnar at this point. They need to give Seth Rollins the legit win over Brock and make him be the main event with Brock Lesnar at the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. That's it. Simple as that. Alright, now with that being said, like I said, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles was a great matchup. Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship was an okay matchup. This wasn't great, it wasn't terrible, it was average at best, and Kevin Owens loses again. He's going nowhere. He's in complete limbo, he keeps losing, you don't make him win the damn title, you turn him face, then you turn him heel. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this company? That's my issue with that match. Overall, the match was decent. It was a noteworthy match. It was something that you could throw in the mix, take airtime and what have you, and that's about it. They had Lars Sullivan come out of nowhere, beat the shit out of these Lucha Libre wrestlers, Kalisto and a group of other guys who I could give a fuck less about. Really. And they're acting as if this is a Monday Night Raw episode. Fucking stupid. That's really it, guys. I don't think I missed anything, really. The women's match, Samoa Joe's match with Rey Mysterio. I've already discussed Shane McMahon's match. Oh yeah, Tony Nese and Daivari. That match was a decent, solid match, but there was people actually chanting, "This is boring." There was people chanting during the Shane McMahon and Miz match, AEW. Now, let me put I'm going to go ahead and state something here. Before they went on the air, they had Stephanie McMahon pull everyone together in a meeting backstage and say that they are in full competition with loads of different people that they need to overcome. They need to bring up their viewership. They need to do this and they need to do that. They also have AEW. Stephanie McMahon surprised the hell out of me, showed me she has some brains here. She said that AEW is now their new competition and they need to show up. Well, overall, I saw some kind of hope, or at least some kind of desire to provide us something that's noteworthy. The match that we saw with Seth Rollins and AJ Styles definitely delivered that. Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens somewhat saw that. But they did the right thing. Like I said, they did the right thing with Roman Reigns and Elias. They gave more airtime to AJ Styles and Seth Rollins for their title match. I think that was awesome what they did there. They didn't need to give Roman Reigns a really long, drawn-out match, like a 5-10 minute match. They didn't need to do any of that. So, honestly, Tony Nese and Daivari's matchup was a solid, okay matchup. I really didn't care for this match. This was probably the lowest graded cruiserweight match I've seen. Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander was probably by far the best matchup I have ever seen on a televised main card event, which aren't too many. But at the Super Showdown, at the Australia event from last year, that matchup was a very good one. I really enjoyed that match. This match was nowhere near what Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander did. No fucking way. But straight up with you guys, this show wasn't horrible, but the ending sucked. There was 50-50 booking where there didn't need to be 50-50 booking. Rey Mysterio didn't need to win the U.S. Championship. Not to mention, there was a botch situation with the count. Samoa Joe had his arm up, and yet it didn't get noticed, and he got the 1-2-3 anyway over Samoa Joe. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I have to say on this video. I didn't particularly care for the ending. The rest of the show was okay, and I'm not too upset with it. It's just the ending to Brock Lesnar's, to the Money in the Bank ladder match. These guys put their lives on the line, beat the hell out of each other, and kicked each other's asses. And at the end of it, Brock Lesnar is the one to walk away with the damn briefcase instead of a Bray Wyatt or a Aleister Black. What a fucking joke. Anyway, leave your comments and opinions down below. Hit the like button if you liked the video. And hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to this channel. And I thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.